Hello guys, welcome to King of Sahara. We're back here in the Super 16. As you all know and expected, we have AS versus AL. And a lot of people actually wanna see this matchup, so we are excited as well. So let's check out the Super 16 bracket for a second. Lat 1 already proceeded due to Kaitias just dropping out of the tournament. We also saw EL2 versus GAD. EL2 proceeded and GAD was eliminated. And also T Kings versus Lad Team 3. The T Kings team also proceeded there. Um, let's check out the players for today's matchup. AS, I think they are more known in the community. Cage and Sermon. Cage is, in my opinion, one of the top tier players in the game. Also, I'm here with Jatin. I forgot to introduce him, so yeah,
Hey guys, I'm here as well.
yeah, it's gonna be awesome. Yeah, AS, Cage, and Sermon both like very good players. AL, Hugo, and Dracula. Um, let's check out the polls for this matchup. So yeah, 62% in favor of AS and 38 in favor of AL. So obviously, yes, 60% in favor of AS. What do you think about those numbers?
Oh, wait. I'm sorry, there is your voice is getting cut off again. Um, so about those numbers, well, I know that AL has done really well. They actually lost. They lost a game against AZ3 during the group
Hmm.
qualifiers. But I would say yeah, I have more confidence in AS because both Sermon and Cage are top of the class players. If you go to the Facebook group right now where we posted the first ever poll of this tournament, they are voted in position number 4 or 5. That means out of every team in this tournament, they are the fifth or fourth best team according to voters. So you can see people do believe in them. So I don't think 62% is anything too much for them. And in fact, considering that AL team got 38%, that's actually a big deal. And I hope AL is going to give a tough competition to AS because they are, according to me, they are the underdogs in this game.
Yeah, I actually really agree with you. I would have thought that AS would get a higher percentage, but well, yeah, it is what it is. Also, let's talk about the players for like a quick minute. I think Cage is like the tier one player in Rise of Nations. He belongs to the elite players like Red Bull, Cypher, Azteca maybe. So that's how I see him. Sermon is like one of the best tier two players for me. Do you agree? And what would you say about AL? Because I don't really know them.
I'm sorry, can you repeat that? Your voice is getting cut again.
I think that Cage and Sermon are like elite players. Cage certainly, and Sermon is more of a tier two player. But what do you think about AL? About the players, about their skill?
Well, I feel that if I had to categorize them like or who is better among them, it would be very difficult for me. Both of these are definitely commendable players. I don't think I would take the game easily in any case, whoever is
Yeah,
playing among both of these.
for sure.
Um, I'm I'm actually not sure if I could classify one of them as better or not. But in my case, I may rank Sermon a slightly, very slightly higher than Cage, but that's just because I've had really tough games with Sermon at one point, where compared to compared to games with Cage. But yeah, that's all personal opinion. I don't think if you took a lot of games combined, they both would fare almost at the same level, fare about the same level. And among the top players, Rise of Nations standard scenario.
Yeah, I agree with you. Well, anyway, I think we're ready to get into the game. I want to say welcome to all the viewers. Bad English, sorry, I saw Ruben Silva, El Bu, Lubo, Portokalski, Moose Ben, what's up, man? Nice to see y'all. So let's just go. I'm gonna start the countdown. So three, three, one, two,
Just a second.
one.
Can you give me a minute?
Yeah, sure, for sure. Yeah, sure, for sure. Um, let's see.
Okay. Oh, I checking back on the stream if the stream is also weird or it's just me not able to hear you.
Mhm. We'll be right back, guys. Unmuting.
Mhm.
Okay, guys. Wait, let me check this. Okay,
Okay,
we're back. We're
we're
back. We're
back. We're
ready.
back. We're
Let's
ready.
just go. I'm
Let's
gonna do
just
the
go. I'm gonna
countdown.
do the
Three,
countdown.
two,
3, 2,
one, go.
1, go.
Okay, finally,
Okay,
guys, we're
finally,
gonna get
guys,
into
we're
it.
gonna get into
For
it. For
AS, sermon
AS,
is
sermon is
Russians.
Russians.
Russians can be
Mm-hmm.
Russians
interesting.
can be
I
interesting.
think
I
I'm always
I
excited
am
to
always
see
excited to see
Russians play,
Russians
just
play,
because
just because
it's not something you see
it's not
every day.
something
So
you see every day.
I'm
So
curious how he's
I'm
gonna play.
curious how he's gonna
Gage
play.
is
Gage is
Koreans, which is
Koreans,
kind
which
of
is kind of
one of the lower tier
one of the lower
nations,
tier
but
nations,
it
but
is what it
it
is.
is what it
On the other
is. On
side,
the other side,
opposing
opposing
Gage, we have
Gage, we
Dracula.
have
He's Dutch.
Dracula. He's Dutch.
Dutch is,
Dutch is, I
one
mean,
in the
one
top five,
in
I
the top
guess,
5, I guess,
by
by
most players.
most players.
Hugo
Hugo
is Aztecs,
is Aztecs,
which is a very aggressive
which is a
nation.
very
As
aggressive
we all
nation.
know that.
We all know
It's
that. It's
gonna be interesting how
gonna be
Russia and
interesting how
Aztecs
Russia and
how
Aztecs
they're gonna
how they're gonna
play with each other.
play with each other.
And we have some
We have some
audio
Prolaze,
issues.
just a
audio
second.
issues.
Prolaze, just a
Yeah,
second.
Yeah.
wanna
Just a second.
wanna
Yeah.
pause again?
Can you put
Pause
us on
again?
mute? There's
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
So I should just turn you down there. Oh, myself. N- That's that. Okay, now.
Because people say they're hearing you multiple times. So if the stream is not, then that. Okay. Okay, yeah, hopefully there. I
Okay, yeah,
can't
hopefully
confirm.
there.
All right.
I can't confirm whether there is a
Yeah.
audio issue or not. Hopefully,
Hopefully
people.
it works now. I'm gonna
Yeah,
unpause.
hopefully it does.
I'm
Yeah,
at
yeah,
one
hopefully it does.
minute. So three, two,
Okay.
one, go.
Okay.
Anyway,
Oh,
we've
by the way, you're. Oh, by the way, you're. Okay, yeah.
yeah,
Okay,
everything
okay, yeah.
fine. Anyway, we've talked about the nations. Justin, do you actually have any comments? About the nations that
Oh,
you?
yeah, so I did not see. Oh, yeah, so I did not see their specifics, but if I have to guess, it's obvious that AS picked both defensive and AL picked both aggressive. So it's a oh no no. So actually, AL picked one offensive and
Yeah,
one
that seems to be
economic.
correct.
And I don't. So I feel AL did the right job as I would expect from a team that's not that wants to take this game seriously. For AS, picking up the defensive nation first, well, it
Yeah.
could be a trick.
Jitin, let
Obviously,
me
defensive nations
let
do
me pause for
slightly.
a sec again. I think
Mhm.
you have an echo as well now. Let's just quickly fix that.
Oh man, damn.
It's fine, guys.
We need to
Uh,
stop paying
we
tech
are
guy.
gonna survive. Let me see. Okay, I still do hear you. Okay, yeah, yeah. I think we have it this time, boys. I really
Yeah.
do think we have it.
Was it the Skype NTI for me also?
Yeah, I turned it down. Guys, can you tell us if right now the echo is gone for Jitin?
I see myself on the stream though. Damn.
Yeah, that's good, right? Yeah.
I feel
Anyway,
like a movie star.
I think it should be fine. Do let us know, guys. We're just gonna continue. Anyway, I unpaused, and you were saying, that I think offensive. Hugo is offensive with Aztecs and economic Dutch with Dracula. And you were saying something about AS as well.
Yeah. So AS, both of them pick defensive. Um, it's a completely different order of nation selection that I've seen in this tournament. Mostly people will either just not care about nations and they'll go for complete randoms, or they will try to pick either economic and offensive in the first game because they want to have the best first game possible. When you win the first game, you get that boost of confidence that helps you in the rest of the two games as well.
Yeah, for sure. And I actually do like that AS they went both defensive, so I think it's better to work together to have a similar play style so you don't
Mm-hmm.
get out of sync with each other. So yeah, I think AS they will be probably setting up their defenses. Do they have the rares for such an endeavor though? In Cage's corner I see that relics and gems, and I think he should be able to, secure those. For Sermon,
Oh yeah,
Bison, that's a very nice rare to have so early, and he's already getting it
that
at
oh yeah, man.
255. So,
Bison is really good.
but apart from that, Sermon doesn't really have anything. He has Cotton, it's nice, in combination with Bison, Tobacco in the far corner, but nothing really mind boggling. While
Oh yeah, I,
Hugo
I don't
has that
there
sugar.
is no library rare on this side. So that's a bummer for AS team.
Oh yeah, I I feel like AL does have more long-term rares. Well, I'm talking mainly about the silver in that case, and perhaps the sugar. That's just overall a good booming rare. Salt in the corner. I guess it's pretty balanced. What would you say, man?
I think AL have got the better nations. Well, it's silver,
Well, in terms of
diamond,
rares, yeah.
sugar, horses. Oh yeah, I feel AL have got
Okay,
much better
yeah, I
rares
see the
on that side.
furs here. So, yeah, diamonds there. All right.
Hey Serge
Yeah.
in the chat. Looks like you got
Oh,
another account to
he's
get very
back,
soon.
boys.
Yeah.
Welcome. Some things never change. I hope they do change though. Um,
Yeah, they will. They
man,
will.
yeah, they will do it. Look at Cage. He's already using that gems and relics. It's amazing. Pretty fast. He does have a very exposed wood line here. Does
Yeah,
Dracula
man.
know about it? Let's see. He doesn't. Um,
No, not the best scouting by Dracula.
Dracula, he went for that caravan raid with the Dutch, which I like, but really, apart from that, he didn't do any reconnaissance anymore. He's only doing it just
Mm-hmm.
now with that scout, but I feel like he could have had more knowledge for sure about the terrain of Cage.
Mm-hmm. And I also feel that, well, Cage should lose both of these merchants very easily, because, well, they're not protected at all. I don't even think a Cage is going to
Well, the
send
problem
anyone
is, so
there to
far,
protect them.
sorry for interrupting, Dracula doesn't even know
Hmm.
that they are there, so he isn't even planning to do a raid, you know? He's getting Despot, but yeah, he's getting Mill level 2 as well, and he's getting a stable.
Hmm.
Okay, okay, so perhaps he can damage them, but maybe it's kind of late, man, already. I feel like Cage, he's just using those rares for a pretty long time, actually.
Yeah, well, it's fine. I think as long as the raid is successful. Well, but you were right that using relics for such a long time, that's a big deal. He is at 60 knowledge already compared to Dracula. And well, another thing that I want to point out here is that, the Koreans, they also lose one big advantage against Dutch. You know what?
What's up?
That is the militia. Because usually you would expect
Oh,
a
yeah.
Korean player to send their militia to rares for raiding, but
Hmm.
they can't do that to Dutch merchants.
Yeah, that's right. I see now that Hugo actually scouted relics in the corner there. So,
Hmm.
meanwhile, Dracula has made a cataphract. Another one is on its way. So, I think he's aiming for that woodline that was very exposed, but I think Gage will be in time with the tower.
Oh yeah, but that tower is still in not the perfect place. I think if Dracula does it properly, he can pick at least two villagers there.
Yeah, certainly if he utilizes two cataphracts.
Hmm.
And I feel like he could have denied it if he was more confident in his, knowledge. Maybe even used forced march. He would have,
Oh
he
yeah.
might even, he should attack the villagers. Well, that tower is gonna get completed
Oh yeah.
anyway, because
And
Koreans.
oh man, you're right. He could have killed that villager. He forgot that it's Koreans. Any other nation, the cataphract would be able to delay the tower, but not. But I mean, not for Koreans, because the Koreans can build.
But
Also, do you see his third city?
yeah,
Do you agree with that?
it's
Well,
interesting,
that third
but
city is going to force Cage to go away and not use this woodcutter camp anymore.
do you think maybe if he gets a temple? But yeah, that's what I was afraid of. Like so far, it doesn't really affect Cage at all, and Cage still has to build a temple in Seoul, so he still has a slight buffer going for him.
Hmm.
Hugo is raiding Cage at the moment, which is nice. However, not too much damage done. Yeah,
And well, Hugo is also trying to raid here, but both of these guys. So I feel Russia and Korea is a good combination, even though these guys did not pick them knowingly. But if you see both Russia and Korea, they're known for their border pushes. So right now, Sermon and Cage, they're if you see, their territories are almost exactly symmetrical. They look the same shape, and they have
yeah,
completely isolated Hugo and Dracula.
yeah, which is pretty beautiful. And also, is Sermon using? Man, Sermon should get on that gems. That would be a real game changer. And I see he is sending some merchants there. He's going to relics as well. I would say that
Hmm.
Dracula is doing a pretty fine job at raiding. He's keeping Cage's attention busy at the very least. Cage has to micro his senator, but okay, Dracula should micro his light horse as well. He lost it to a bribe,
Oh
but
man, yeah, that was bad. Light horse is the worst unit to lose to a bribe because they are supposed to be agile. They can run away anytime you want.
yeah. But on the other hand, I'd rather lose my last light horse than my cataphracts. And Dracula,
Oh yeah.
he's gonna get the relics. That's nice. Um, the light horse won't really do much, and the senator doesn't have any craft.
Yep, that's right. I hope man, this raid could have done a lot more damage than what it's doing right now.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. From the start, like you remember with this tower as well, he could have done more damage. He lagged behind, he was one step behind almost. While as the raider, he should be always one step in front.
Oh
Um,
man, come on! I hope he actually kills that relic, because right now it looks like he's not going to. Oh man,
nah, but
this is bad.
fine because Dracula is already sieging, tower in front. That wood line is gonna get exposed. So overall, he still had a game plan. I like that about Dracula, even though his raid isn't very successful, but he was planning to kind of distract Cage in the back and also apply pressure from the front. Um, you know,
Yep.
what would you say about the economies, man? Because I think that overall AS seems to be booming away, like we kind of expected, given the defensive capabilities of both nations.
Mm-hmm.
However, Hugo is doing well.
Oh man, Hugo just. I just noticed that. Did you know that Hugo went for
Oh,
senator?
I just saw it now, man. What the hell?
Oh man, that's the worst. That is the worst
Possible thing he
thing you
could
can,
have
yeah,
done.
you can do against Russians.
So basically, that's like you you can't even raid if you wanted to. It's literally
Yeah,
impossible
so
against Russians. So Sermon, let's see, does he even build towers? I mean, I see one tower, but you know what? He doesn't really have any towers on his
Sermon has
front
two
city.
towers. That's
Okay, yeah, but like he doesn't need to protect like his middle city, for example, which otherwise he should have done if he wasn't Russians, because there's a lot of raiding spots
oh
here.
man, this is. I was expecting some heavy raids from Hugo, but with that senator he can't do that. Now, for me, the next step should be that he goes for a quick gunpowder rage attack, gets monarchy, and uses the Aztec power in H4. That's the only thing he can do right now.
Yeah,
Else, Sermon obviously will outboom him.
but let's see if Hugo can beat Sermon at his own game, and that is booming. I've gotta give it to Hugo. He's doing a pretty great job, but I think Sermon will he will get away in the end. He has a slightly better eco still, and
Oh yeah, man.
but don't forget
That's right. That's
Hugo.
right.
You know what Hugo has? He has the rares, man. If you look at the rares that he's using, spies, horses, silver, sugar, diamonds, that does balance it out a little bit. Also, important engagement here between Dracula and Cage. What do you think about it, man? It's a possibility to deny that city, maybe, but nah,
No. With
Koreans.
Koreans, I won't even try. The most Dracula could do is
Some damage.
kill those villagers. Kill those villagers. That's all. Apart from that, it's just a waste of effort.
Yeah,
In fact, it is helping. It is helping Cage. If he attacks the city, then he's just wasting that time that he
yeah.
could be doing. Some
Then
other things.
yeah, and Cage had a lot of archers and Dracula mainly heavy pikemen, so this wasn't an engagement that he wanted to see. Um,
Oh yeah, but on the other side, I'm checking out Dracula's library, and it looks good here, man.
oh yeah, he's actually ready for the gunpowder, but Cage isn't far behind at all.
And the problem here is that he didn't raid as much as I would expect from somebody who went with the spot.
Come again about the despot?
Yeah, Dracula did not raid as much as
Oh yeah,
somebody with the spot should raid.
he tried that raid in the beginning with the two horses, and yeah, he kind of never he stopped after that.
Yep, and look at Yuko. He had to try to attack with a supply wagon. That's the worst kind of thing you should be using against Russians.
Yeah,
Supply wagons that they melt like ice in a desert. I
yeah,
don't know.
and
It's
Sermon will happily use that fact against Hugo as well. He knows it. I mean, obviously this is a professional matchup, but you see this supply wagon is already half HP, so once that goes down, it's basically game over for the
oh yeah.
units.
And Yugo went for third civic. That's a questionable position of the city. I would expect him to get the city even further, get inside Sherman's territory, because later on he's going to be raiding him.
Yeah, and not a lot of natural resources. Only
Hmm.
that mountain. Did he need it very much? Well, maybe. He only has one
Uh,
mountain at the moment. So yeah,
oh wait, what?
yeah,
Damn, that's
that's
unlucky, man.
unlucky.
That's just one mountain. Okay, I don't blame him then. That's the
Yeah,
right choice. By the way, Dracula is doing a nice job there with his raids.
but it's not gonna work out. Taking the city. He is doing
Yeah, the
some
most he can
nice
do
damage
is
though. Yeah,
yeah, pick
just
some
undermine the
caravans.
eco. Yeah, but he should really get out of there in time, and I like it that he seems to be doing that. Yeah. So,
Oh
uh,
yeah. I feel even if Dracula continues to do whatever he's doing right now,
man,
he could eventually kill Cage.
he,
That
he
and because that place where he's raiding from, it's a nice raiding spot. It is very vulnerable.
he can take this engagement, dude. He should go for it. Like those archers, three archers against his army. If he uses
Hmm.
forced march and can catch them, then he can do some more damage in terms of economy and all that.
Oh yeah.
But
Well, yeah, you're right.
Cage is doing a decent micro as well. He's not letting his archers get intercepted. So and he has that senator as well. So he's trying to defend with the minimum of. Oh, the senator is getting caught. The senator is down for
Oh,
Cage. And man, he's not paying attention. Those archers, those light cavalry are just shredding them to pieces. If I
yeah,
was
because Cage
Dracula,
is trying to raid. Cage is trying to raid Dracula in the background. Do you see that?
oh yeah, I see. Those are. Yeah, I saw he had two cataphracts initially, or knights.
But now compare to the eco, especially knowledge and wealth, Dracula is leading, and in fact,
Wow.
Dracula has a higher score than Cage. Dude, AL is leading against AS overall.
Wow, I did not see this happening, but we've seen a slight change, man, in terms of the balance, and we haven't even
Hmm.
noticed. That's exciting. On the other side, though, um, Sermon with a tremendous economy, but Hugo isn't doing too bad. He's doing quite well. But Sermon is, I think,
Yeah,
the leading player. He really can change the outcome of the game in the future.
so if you look at Sermon's library, he is aiming for H5,
Yeah.
and I would say this the simple trick here is if Sermon reaches H5 before Hugo can take one of his cities, it's over. Or and at the same time, if Hugo takes one of his cities, then Hugo is going to be in edge because in order to win against Aztecs, you need to overpower them with your army. And Sherman right now is mostly relying on technology instead of our army, increased numbers of army.
Yeah, Sermon has been taking his nation very seriously. He's almost only, relying on his power, that attrition. He doesn't really have an army,
Yep.
while Hugo he has already a massive army, and I guess,
Yeah, that's a
um,
nice army, man.
but he hasn't been really using it so far, dude. I mean, he had a considerable amount in the
Monarchy,
previous
please.
age.
I hope he goes monarchy. That's all he needs. Just go monarchy and some siege units. That's all. He doesn't even need to produce more units. He's got enough to
Yeah,
kill Sarman.
he should have had sieges already, to be honest, but it's okay. But it
Uh,
does
I
it
don't know,
just
man, if it's okay or not because it could turn into a problem for Yugo. By the way, I see that Hugo has got only a single scout against Russia. Wonder if he's going to regret that.
Sherman has only one spy so far as well, but he's just speed racing towards the Enlightenment age,
Mm-hmm.
while uh, Hugo is doing some movement. He's gonna get caught by the lookouts. um,
Yeah, he will.
Hugo
He will.
Hugo went in without any preparation beforehand. He didn't
Oh
scout
man, come on!
the
It it,
city.
it pains me right now that he is still relying on supply wagons instead of monarchy. Hugo has this game right now. I'm not kidding. Forget the fact that he is behind in the library research. He attacks this city of Vladivostok with three sieges and monarch. That's it. Sermon is dead. I'm
I,
telling you.
I I don't understand where his sieges are, man. Where are your sieges? Come on. I only react like this because I really see that, as you said, Hugo has a very good chance to kill Sermon. He just doesn't know about it. And Sermon, he went for Calm 4 as well, so that, in my opinion, it
Yeah. Oh
actually
man.
increases Hugo's
Yeah.
chances, but still no sieges. Still no sieges.
Sermon is just making it easier for Hugo to kill him, and Hugo is making it easier for Sermon to boom more. That's what's happening here.
Yeah, yeah, but I mean, probably from Hugo's perspective, he thinks that Sermon has a bigger army. I mean, Hugo, obviously, if he knew what state Sermon is in, then he would go for it, because Hugo is
Yeah.
not dumb.
Or if he
But
knew Sermon at all, I guess everybody who has ever played with Sermon knows that he's a boomer. He's a boom kind of player. So this is very I would say immature of him to think that Sermon would have army, or even if he has army. Come on, man, you're Aztecs. That's your battle. Because if you see right so far, uh, Hugo has not utilized his nation power at all. Aztecs' nation power is that they get plunder from killing enemy units, and he hasn't done that at all. So he's just playing like a generic nation.
yeah, um, I would
I see
say,
Hugo is also ready to age very soon.
yeah.
Let's
So,
see if he can change the game outcome.
so
So it's not too
definitely,
late. Yeah.
yeah, it's not over yet for Hugo at all. He still has a enormous army, and Sermon will need actually some time to amass such an army. He has two barracks and two stables, which is actually pretty decent. He can build, a big army decently fast, but he still needs time.
Yeah. I see two
Also,
sieges from the Aztec player coming. So as long as he doesn't lose these sieges, he should be okay.
and
So the sermon.
uh, he's still senator, so his attack is impossible at the moment. He has the resources for the
Yeah.
monarchy. I think he's just forgetting really.
Oh yeah, and actually look at that. Dracula is doing way better than I expected, man. He should be beating Cage if he doesn't screw up.
In terms of his economy, yes, but I'm afraid that Dracula's micro might betray him, and losing in an engagement, it really changes the balance as well, because all of those
Oh yeah.
resources that you lose by losing your army. So he should still be on his toes.
Oh yeah, that's right. I like that defending brigade Dracula has in his territory. Do you see that? He got so many cavalry in the
Yeah,
background, so he makes sure that he doesn't get raided.
and man, his eco is pretty good, man. Plus 200 gold. He can really spam a lot of scholars. He's finally getting the printing press, so his knowledge is gonna increase quite significantly in the near future.
Oh yeah, and you could just aged. This could this could be that point in the game where the AS team, especially Sermon, should watch out.
If we compare the armies, Sherman amassed a decent army, but Hugo still is in the lead, I'd say. Also, Hugo has the... No, he doesn't have the Monarch yet. Will he ever get the Monarch though? He got a supply wagon.
Yeah. So this
But
is one of the reasons why if Hugo loses this, that's going to be a big reason why he loses this game.
and
No Monarch.
one scout only. This is...
Oh no, he got another scout.
That heavy cavalry is gonna do so much damage.
Yeah, come on Hugo, what are you waiting for? Just get that monarchy.
And Hugo doesn't have any cavalry left. He has some Fusiliers, but it's not enough.
And he lost all the sieges. Oh man, this hurts.
Uh,
I see all the wealth that he has, and okay, yeah, he should be going for monarchy soon. I hope. Do you think he forgot about it, or he's just not doing anything?
he must forgot about it. I mean, there's literally no reason not to get monarchy at this moment, especially when you're going for... It's not an all-in attack, but you can almost call it like an all-in attack, because it was a serious attempt. And if a serious attempt goes wrong, it really sets you back. So for an attack like that, you should do all possible things to increase your chances, and that means getting the monarch
That's
as
right.
well.
Yeah, he is getting monarchy now, but if he got it earlier, then he could have been spamming these units already.
What I was afraid
And
of...
Sermon is raiding behind in his base with those Fusiliers. It's interesting how strong these Fusiliers are. They can do so much damage.
Oh yeah, no, those Fusiliers for sure. They are maybe even better than horse archers, because they also can sustain a lot of damage while they're raiding. By the way,
Oh man,
Dracula made a mistake that I was afraid of. He lost his army to Cage completely,
yeah,
and
and he lost his army to an unupgraded Cage's army.
yeah,
So sad.
but Cage used Minutemen, I saw, which is
Yeah, man.
quite genius.
I'm telling you, man, these guys have the potential to be the top players in standard, and they just mess it up with some small mistake.
Let's look at the technology, because we actually can expect
But
some
actually,
industrial age
Hugo,
action.
Look at Hugo. I think he's doing fine.
Oh yeah, he has the monarch now, and a lot of cavalry.
And he's got the numbers now. All he needs is siege. I hope he gets siege.
His scouts, they killed 2 spies. That's very nice. That was a nice investment, getting those scouts. And Sherman is fleeing.
Yep. Now, right now, he could even go and raid Sermon if he wants to, or just not raid instead. Get some siege and attack the city. Even in a straight battle, he should be able to win against Sermon.
And actually, the advantage of Sherman isn't that big. He only has like 1 extra commerce level 5 over Hugo, and the rest is identical.
Yep.
So I mean, it's not like Sherman is way ahead of Hugo at all.
No, he's not. He's not. Sermon has a great ego, as I would expect from him.
And look
But
at
what
Dracula.
he
Look how Dracula bounced back. Look at that army he created in such a short span, and Cage's army seems a bit weak at the moment.
Yeah, but what I'm wondering is, Cage has got a perfect 310 eco compared to Dracula, who isn't doing as well.
Let's see. Yeah. Oof, nice raid here on the Hague. A combination of a
Yeah.
Cuirassier and a Dragoon.
Oh yeah, that's right. And Hugo has got the army now. He's even got the sieges. I hope he doesn't waste time and he just goes on to one of the cities.
Oh man, why is he going for that library, to be honest? Maybe, I don't know. I'm not sure about that. He should just get that city, I think. Which city would you
Yeah,
go?
man.
Would you go for Vladivostok or Bryansk?
Oh, I'll go for the center city because that will cut off Serban.
Bryansk, right?
Oh no 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 no! Wait! He better not lose his sieges. He did lose them in
Oh,
front.
that's reckless. Very reckless. I've learned it the hard way that it's better not to fuck around with your siege. Better take
Oh
that
yeah,
shit
never.
very seriously. So now it's kind of a micro fest. Hugo has the bigger army. Sermon has the defensive, advantage. So
Yep.
whoever
And why am I
micros better can
persistently
change the
killing
game.
this side?
Uh, let's look at this side. Dracula, yeah, man, looks good, and Cage is forced to use a lot of Minutemen, so his economy is right now equalized, and
Hugo is
he's
in
on the back
shambles.
foot, man. Wow.
Hugo got a big army and he is using that to kill the stable. Man, it hurts. It hurts right here in my heart. Kill
Yeah,
the city, Hugo. You can get it. You can get him. I am so excited. I want the AL guys to win.
man, but look
No
at
bias.
Sermon. He's just not stopping. He's already at 370 economy. He's gonna age to
Yep.
industrial soon, but Hugo, I feel like he has this one shot right now. He only
Wait, do you see he is
has
gathering his
one shot.
villagers? Do you see that?
Who's gathering the villagers?
Sermon.
Oh yeah, yeah. He wants to repel this. I don't
Oh
know.
yes,
I don't
this
know.
could be his.
I don't know if it's gonna work,
Man,
man. I'm not
I
sure.
I would never advise militia against an Aztec army after H3, but Minutemen should be fine because if his army loses, the game is over anyway.
So Cage is telling Sermon that he's in trouble, but Sermon is really not really in the position to go save Cage. So Cage just has to do with what he has. He just has to survive no matter what. Man, Hugo, come
Yeah,
on, micro it well.
it's actually better. I mean, I have to commend Dracula for attacking him right at the time. Oh, by the way, wait, did you see that? Hugo just sniped the Monarch.
Oh, this is game changing. This is actually completely gonna change. But man, why are the sieges not sieging the city, man? I guess he selected them, and
Together, yeah.
yeah.
Oh man,
That's
this
mistakes
could
like this should not happen. I mean, this is you could literally lose a game because of such a mistake.
and Dracula is playing his A game because just imagine right now Hugo is killing someone here, but Dracula is not giving HPC.
Dude,
That would be so frustrating.
dude, look at Dracula. He's already industrial. He just aged to the.
This is epic. This is epic. I don't know why I'm so happy, but it looked like AL guys who we thought were the underdogs of this game.
And even
They,
Sermon is losing. Ah, this
yeah,
is.
and honestly, both of these guys beat their respective opponents. Both of
And
them.
honestly, Hugo should have gotten Bryansk. Look at that! Look at all this economy in Bryansk. That would have been a bigger hit. But it's fine. But Vladivostok
No,
wasn't
Brian,
as
even it's fine.
important.
I see what you're saying, but I also feel that Brian would be easier for Cage to help.
Yeah, but Cage, he's not in a position to help. Because,
That's right.
yeah, it doesn't matter how, however you turn it, AS will still lose more.
Dude, this is an epic game. I am enjoying this so much, and this is also highlights the reason why I would suggest everybody to go for offensive or economic in the first game, because you see, Sermon and Cage, of course, lost because of their nation powers were shitty. Russia, Korea do not stand any chance against Dutch and Aztecs.
Yeah.
So even if there is a difference in skill, I would say AS team is slightly more skilled than AL guys, but those nations they make up for it. So and it also affects their self confidence right now. Imagine AS now doubting themselves whether they were taking it too seriously, and suddenly AL have this boost of confidence for the next game.
Yep. So yeah, it's over, and this whole game was pretty close. I mean, we couldn't really decide who's gonna win until the very last moment. It's actually pretty amazing because overall the game was kind of laid back until we reached the
Hmm.
gunpowder when the action started. And ever since we just saw this, struggle between the players, but Hugo turned it around after making a lot of mistakes. He could have even potentially finished Sermon sooner and in a much easier
Yes.
state. And I don't know, Dracula, he just played well. I mean, Dracula and Cage both were kind of winning at some points, but somehow Dracula turned it around, which is great.
Hmm.
Um,
Man, I really like what Dracula did here. I feel this was a clean victory, a super clean victory. It was like two 1v1s. Nobody interfered in anybody's business. I think AL would have liked to double somebody, but thanks to AS separating them completely, so it wasn't possible.
mhm.
On the other side, AS could have helped each other out, but AL guys made sure that they attacked about the same time and they could take on each other 1v1.
Yeah. I guess we shouldn't forget that AL did have amazing rares. If you look at the rares that
And that,
Hugo is
and that.
using, it's just over the top, man. More than 10-ish rares that he's using. It's just crazy. But nevertheless, doesn't matter. It's just something to keep in mind. I mean, AL just used their rares and slowly turned it around. Because
Yeah,
in the
and
beginning stage, AS was kind of dominating in terms of score and economy, but AL just slowly creeped back.
yeah, and by the way, do you see I didn't even see when Sermon got that hanging garden, but right now I'm checking out library of Sermon, and I feel that if he did not go for that extra commerce and he just tried to go with age 6 as soon as possible, because age 6 is very strong against age 5. So that
Yeah,
would have helped him to compensate for the lack of units with the
I
extra
I
technology.
agree, man. And actually, I remember the exact moment when he decided to go for an extra commerce, and I thought, I mean, it would have been better if he could have just aged and if he could have made an army instead.
Yeah, and that it's also difficult to make more army than the Aztecs there. But in any case,
Yeah. In any case, I'm here in the second replay. So, do you want to take a small pause or will we get into it?
well, I'm fine. If you're okay.
Yeah, I'm fine as well. So, tell me when you're in the replay.
Okay, I'm here. Let's start.
Okay, let me put the game screen on. Let me take a sip and let me unpause. So, 3, 2, 1, go.
Here we go.
There we go. We're live, guys. Game 2, and actually AL, as we just saw, they took the first game. And also, let me update the scorecard real quick. So I paused it for a sec.
Wait, did you check the nation pick from AL team?
I haven't. I'm unpausing.
Okay, okay, I'm gonna check that.
So anyway, meanwhile, um, Dracula is Iroquois. Iroquois, wonderful nation. Hugo is Germans. Germans is very nice as well. You can get to
Hmm.
200 eco very fast. And actually, I
I
feel
think this
like
guy.
during the
I think
medieval
these guys
age,
did.
they have a nice
Mhm.
units. Those heavy infantries are very strong up until like
That's right. That's
medieval.
right.
But yeah,
And I think that AL guys, they switched the specific randoms now. One guy has the one guy has offensive, one has economic again, but whoever chose offensive and got Iroquois and economic as German, I think this is the best of these two nations that they can get. AL
hmm
has been lucky with the nation choice for sure, man. And on the other side, Maya and Persia, while I am okay with Persia, Maya is very underwhelming, especially against Iroquois. God save Cage against Dracula this time.
oh yeah, Dracula is a dangerous man now with Iroquois in his hands. But maybe Maya is. I guess they have like a slight defensive advantage as well. Though I don't know if
Well,
I mean, if it's gonna overshadow Iroquois' offensive capabilities.
I feel that if Cage can minimize the number of openings to his cities, that should help him.
Yeah, I mean, at least it would be
And that
nice.
second city position, that second city position is obviously very good for Cage. He has got wood and two metal mines. I assume if he gets his third city very close to his second one, near the other side where there's another wood line, that should work out for him.
Yeah, that would be a quite an defensive setup, which is completely
Yeah,
fine. That
just
would be a
keep it
suitable
cozy
playstyle. hmm
together. That works for Maya.
Uh, you know, if Cage survives, Persians, they they are not weak. Persians certainly they can be a threat. So Sermon has a nation which uh, is strong individually. So he should be able to stand for himself at least. Um, and so far,
Yeah, I feel.
if you look
Mhm.
at how the players are positions, we see like a very clear 1v1s going on. And
Yeah,
any rotation to double is gonna take a very long time. So maybe we will see a 1v1. But yeah, we'll see how that
yeah.
progresses.
To see that 2v2, we need somebody to build in the center.
hmm So yeah, we'll see if someone will go and dip their toe in that center.
And
Um,
yeah, I would have to agree with Serge there that Persia with in hands of a good boomer would be a great combination. Sermon should be able to utilize that. I see that Sermon is, yeah, he just built a barracks, so that raid will also affect
yeah,
Hugo. Hugo has not scouted that area, so
he.
he's
I mean, I'm at three
he.
minutes and
Oh, wait, he just found out. He
yeah,
just found out.
and Sermon already made some immortals and bowmen. He was aiming for Berlin, so he just wants to disturb Hugo's economy. He doesn't want the Germans, to get too strong. He just wants to hinder them in their economic
Hmm.
growth, which is a nice decision. And at the same time, I feel like he went for a balanced play. He made those two units, but otherwise he's just gonna work on his eco. It's not an all-in by any means.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. And in fact, this is a good kind of ancient rush compared to that kind of ancient rush where you start with science and military, because it's risky. If you go with science and military and your opponent somehow survives that, then you are set back throughout the game. In
hmm
this ancient rush where you go military just before aging, this gives you a better assurance that even if you fail, you're not too far behind.
Actually, Sermon made an extra set of immortals. Um, he's too late to catch that barracks built by Hugo though, and maybe in
Hmm.
another universe he would have been able to catch that in time with his immortals. But let's see, he's actually doing
Yeah,
decent damage with the presence of that one unit on Berlin, um, and he's still aging
yep, you
before
are right.
Hugo as well. partly because he denied all those farms during such a critical moment for Hugo, right before he was supposed to age. He lost his food income. So I actually completely appreciate this move by Sermon. It worked
Hmm.
out well,
On the other
so it
side,
is well.
Dracula is the one raiding. Check that out.
Okay. I see what I see is one spearman is heading for um, that first city, but Cage doesn't have anything set up for defense. So this woodcutter's camp,
Hmm.
it's gonna lose a lot of potential. I mean,
Oh man, check that out. Wait, wait, wait. A wonder from Cage.
yep, Cage is getting the hanging gardens. So yeah, he skipped the mill one, and he's just going for a boom play.
Yep, that this could be a call for to be killed.
Uh,
It's a suicide mission, man, against Iroquois. Iroquois. If the Iroquois player can mass up enough army in H3, that's it.
this
GG
can be
for
very
Dracula.
nasty.
I
Cage
mean,
is,
GG for Cage here.
and Dracula, he did respond. He's sending another spearman towards Mayapan, but
Hmm.
maybe he should have done send them to the second city, because I suppose that's where Cage is gonna build his barracks. Um,
Oh yeah.
I don't know where is he gonna build them. Yeah, he is gonna build them on that second city. Um, yeah, the Senate going up. To get the senator to bribe these units.
I would have loved to see Dracula put those archers behind that woodcutter camp on on Cage's second city.
Oh yeah, that would have been actually more effective. Yeah, those archers here, they haven't really done that much. Only delay that Senate only, by like 10 seconds.
Oh yeah. And again, Cage could lose this game very badly. All Dracula needs to do is just raid him hard.
I think Cage is over the worst part. With the senator, he's gonna be able to potentially bribe those spearmen here.
Mhm.
And yeah, he has repelled all the raids so far. But I mean, Dracula, he hasn't lost any units as well. Well, he lost these spearmen now, but he hasn't lost
Yeah, he
much,
did.
which is also commendable.
And
Um,
looking at the rare resources, check that out. For Dracula, he's got furs, obsidian, pappy, dye, and there is silver in somewhere in the middle. They also got horses.
he's
Um,
actually using horses.
Oh my god, do these guys have all the library rares?
Is that so?
Silk, silk, dye, pappy, furs, and did I say silver? Yep, silver somewhere in the center.
Yeah. Silver,
This
it
is
could
crazy.
be Cage's rare as well. We'll have to see who builds the third city first.
Hmm.
Um,
Well, I have a I have a feeling that Cage will reach that earlier because that's another thing that Mayans are known to do. Uh, go for cities in front because Mayans they don't really worry about being attacked. Like once they finish their city, their cities are stronger. They fire arrows already.
yeah, it's already a pretty defendable city just from the get-go. And yeah, he is specifically aiming towards that silver, obviously, because he knows about it. And yeah, this is actually gonna be, also that third city that goes towards the middle. So possibly will enable some rotations in the future. We'll see about that.
Yeah.
Nice
And check that out, man.
little
The
raid in the
Sermon,
back.
those heavy infantry and archer from Sermon, they have done so much damage. They have raided countless merchants already.
Yeah, sermons. units have done. Oh yeah, I see there in the back. Yeah, this immortal is like probably the immortal he built first, almost in the beginning of the game. Yeah, those are veterans.
Yeah, that.
You know what? Let's look at the technology. Let's look at who is gonna progress towards the next age first. Hugo and Sermon have very similar libraries at the moment,
Hmm.
and similar knowledge income as well. Cage
Okay, yeah.
has obviously a very nice knowledge income because of these hanging gardens, and he's using tobacco and spice, which both have some knowledge income as well. He's gonna have silver, so I feel like Cage is doing a nice job. His eco is decent. He recovered from that raid, and Dracula, he has released the pressure that he was giving before. Maybe he should start raiding again or do
Oh
something
yeah, and
proactive.
do you see this? Yugo is trying to use salt in Sermon's territory. That's epic.
Sneaky peeky like. Is he going there?
And
Yeah.
wait, what? Dude, Yugo is using silver in Cage's territory, and Cage doesn't even know about it yet. Like,
It's gonna be funny if he is gonna use that. I think he will. I think he's just gonna go for the medieval age now. He should. He has the resources anyway.
yeah, he does, and I, I don't know, man. At this point, Cage is doing pretty well here. He should be in age 4. I think he has enough knowledge to go to age 4 if he continuously researches everything.
I actually like that Dracula has some unit presence in the back of Sermon, but he should pay attention. He's getting bribed. Oh yeah, that's sad. That's a turnaround.
Yeah.
But anyway, the what he tried is nice in concept. He's trying to support his teammate, which is nice. And yep, Hugo used that silver and is even trying to get away now. I think he's even gonna
Oh yeah.
make it.
Wonder if he'll be able to do it. Because Cage doesn't have any heavy infantry. He just has archers. Archers aren't good against these merchants.
Yeah, no, he just disappeared, which is nice. And actually, Hugo made a. If you notice, there is like a interesting little section here in the middle, which is like a bridge between both worlds. Uh, so yeah, the rotations are very easily made here.
I still feel that the AS team has again somewhat separated Yugo. Or if you see AS will have a easier time trying to defend each other or help each other than the AL guys.
Mm, well, yeah, it depends where the center of the conflict is gonna be for Sermon and Hugo, maybe partly. Where would you pressure first if you were Hugo and you wanted to really deal a blow? Is that Persepolis or is it Isfahan?
I would go for Isfahan just because Persepolis is close to Cage.
Hmm. Yeah, that makes the
So
rotation possible.
if I was the AS team, I would go for the center city because I know my ally can help me doubling as well. But not in this case. For AL to double somebody, it's very difficult. Maybe they can double Yuxmal from Cage. That's the only city that seems to be likely get doubled for AS, but nothing
Hmm.
else.
And for AL, maybe Kiel. That's actually the same name of the area I live in right now, Kiel. So yeah, I'm rooting for Kiel. Yeah,
So
everybody's
on this side,
aging. Look at Cage's library,
everybody.
dude. That's quite a bold move.
Yeah, and Cage has zero scholars. All of his all of his knowledge income is through rares and that hanging garden.
He's getting a significant amount from rares indeed. He could use that
Yeah,
tobacco,
yeah.
man. That would be nice for times when he wants to be more aggressive. That increased
Mm-hmm.
barracks production time, or rather decreased. But Dracula, same as last game, he's not sitting around too much. He's sieging. I guess this is gonna be a serious medieval age attack.
Yeah, and I think maybe Hugo should also come here for you, Small.
Yeah, I agree. I actually hope they're gonna do this. It will be perfect,
Yeah, and
because
wait.
so
Hugo is. I think he should scout with his despot as well. Will be a good idea.
yeah. But I mean, we see a very. I mean, AS hasn't changed anything in their gameplay at all. They still, even though they lost last game, they still are booming. As of right now, Cage and Sermon, they don't have a large army at all. Dracula again has a big army, and he should micro his siege. You're losing time, and time is everything right now.
Yeah. Oh man, he looks like he may lose his despot. That'll be sad.
Yeah, he lost it. He then this completely ruins this attack. Man, it's sad just because the potential was there, but I don't think he will be able to do anything.
Oh yeah, he did have a great potential there, but
Uh,
yeah, no more.
well, he still hasn't lost everything. He should get his despot back, but now he lost that element of surprise. Hugo, I feel like, is making maybe a slight mistake. That one
Yeah, so
siege,
that was
but
I think that would be the GG moment for Dracula. That he should not have lost that.
yeah, he had everything he needed in his hands. Um, he should have just stayed
Yeah,
where he
exactly.
was. He went for some maneuvering, and he fucked it up for himself. If he just
No,
stayed
actually,
here and
I don't
sieged it.
mind that movement. He did really well with the siege. Stopping that castle was amazing, but he should not have lost his spot.
But did he move there to attack the castle with his siege, or?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, well,
That's what
makes
he
sense
moved.
then.
He moved to attack the castle with siege because a mine. So now this city is going to be extremely difficult to take down. A mine city with a castle behind. Yeah, not going to be easy, man.
Cage just reached the gunpowder, but that actually helps Dracula, because Dracula is close to aging as well, and now it's cheaper.
Yeah.
While Cage doesn't have his mill tree, so he can't actually upgrade his units. So this, I think Cage made it worse for himself. Oh no! Cage is upgrading to medieval age units, I think by mistake, because he
Mistake.
is gunpowder. He upgraded his
Oh.
slingers, and he upgraded the cataphract. This is a big hit actually.
Oh man.
It happened to
That
me
is.
as well one time, and he's gonna be so mad when he finds out.
Yeah, that sucks.
Uh,
On the other side, Hugo and Sermon seem to be doing fine. They are not too far apart from in their egos.
and again, we have a very balanced game. It's great. But again, I don't know. Let's see. Maybe AL has the better rares. Again, I think it's the case. Yeah, I think AL has the better rares overall. More library rares, like
And
3 of them for Hugo.
I really hope Dracula wins this because I don't expect him to lose against Maya when he's Hero Boy.
This AL team is no joke actually.
No, it's not. And I will also say it's not the same AL team that played in the group stage. They have improved a lot. These guys have been practicing.
I guess these guys are playing while I'm sleeping or something like that.
On this side, Hugo just messes that I will go 5 H5 and then we'll kill. And Dracula said we should kill one of them. So I assume Dracula wants to go for a double, but Dracula should know that the cage has hanging gardens. So moving against somebody who has hanging gardens is not the best idea.
Dracula is making a mistake. I feel like he has a decent army. Cage, as always, has only like 3 archers. That's literally his defense. 3 archers, and that's it.
Hmm.
I feel like Dracula should just change his angle, and he should go attack the second city of Cage from that gap there, because
Hmm.
with that castle and Maya and the tower and the production buildings, I think it's gonna be too hard for him to take the front city. But he should make something
Yeah,
happen right now, because if you look at the economy for Cage, um, it's 250 all around and 150 for Dracula, so that's a big gap there.
that's right.
Science difference as well. I mean, knowledge 225 for Cage, half of that for Dracula, and yeah, Cage is gonna be enlightenment very soon. So it's
Oh
actually
man, the moment he messed up that attack on the third city, that was it. That was the moment of a loss for him. And thing is, he did not continue to raid Cage after that. He just stopped.
and look at
That's a big deal. Right now, Cage is close to H5,
Cage.
and
He
they are Dracula is nowhere near that.
yeah, you're right.
On the
Also,
other side, Hugo seems like he is beating Sermon at his own game. He is moving better than the Persian player.
yeah, it's still close, but yeah, yeah, Hugo is doing a better job still. Let's see what Dracula is doing. He's sieging again, but he's leaving his sieges exposed. What is he doing here? I don't really understand what he's doing.
And funny thing is, yeah, that man, two sieges against Maya is nothing. Mayans, Russians, and Koreans. These are three nations that you have to get at least three sieges, else it's no good.
Yeah. So yeah, Cage almost enlightenment, just like 5 more seconds. For Dracula, it's gonna be some minutes at least,
Oh
and
yeah, that's right.
now it's almost like Dracula is in the defending role. Even though like Cage, he didn't have army before, but he now is using his economy to make some units. Soon he's gonna be very powerful.
Mm-hmm. Oh man, that's too bad. And I feel Hugo will kill Servan in the age race, but Dracula may die sooner than that.
Well, maybe if Dracula can kill Cage's army right now while it's out of position, but Cage is aware of this. He's running away.
Oh yeah.
He still lost some units, but it's not nothing
And the
critical.
problem is Dracula's first city does not have a castle. Maybe a castle in the first city could delay that attack.
Well, he still. Oh yeah, he does have a castle. He can get operations as well.
Mm-hmm.
Sermon looks to be ahead in score, but yeah, it's really a non-existing difference. Only 100 points. But man, Hugo's
Yeah.
knowledge income. Look at that.
Yeah, that's good. 266. That he's about 100 points ahead of Hugo. I mean, you're ahead of Sermon. About the same point difference as between Cage and Dracula.
He's much faster to age. So actually, Hugo is in a good spot. He should try to use his advantage right now. At the same time, Cage is attacking the front city of Dracula, and successfully so. He has upgraded all his units. He has 3 cannons, upgraded Enlightenment Age cannons, so that city is gonna get down very quickly. I feel like Dracula forgot about Iroquois' special power in. Okay, he's still gunpowder, but next age he gets his sniping abilities for his scouts.
Oh yeah, and dude, Sermon is doing too good here. I mean, Sermon rated really well with his elephants.
Okay, I see him. I see him on cotton. Anywhere else? Not
Oh,
really.
you see that woodcutter camp? That woodcutter camp, he.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. All those bodies here. Yep. Yep. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And you see that in Hugo's wood income as well.
Yeah, so he raided him just when Hugo, and this is again a problem. Hugo is not paying attention to monarchy. He doesn't have siege. How was he supposed to? How was he just expecting to kill Sermon when he's not ready to attack right after raiding? This is not
Yep.
good, man.
He should have had siege already, and Hugo made the same mistake last game, even though last game, it wasn't that critical.
Yeah, he got lucky last game, but he cannot get lucky every time.
No, he cannot, for sure. He should have had sieges ready already, 3 trebuchets, and just upgrade them when you reach
Yeah, he
enlightenment.
is making them right now in his siege factory. But as you said, yeah, he should already have those.
Now Sermon is actually pressing. He doesn't really have a very dangerous force, but he has a great economy, and because of the raids, his economy actually improved. And Cage has, it's just wonderful. He has a scout and 2 cuirassiers here raiding Hugo as well. So I mean, yeah, he's helping out his teammate because he knows that he himself is doing very well.
Oh man, I feel bad. Germans and Iroquois should not be losing. So yeah, this is one of those times when the nations are not enough to change the skill difference.
Yeah. Cage was ambushing towards Hugo, but Dracula found out with his scouts, so they know about Cage's movement, and he's actually using the sniper ability to kill the general for Cage. It's interesting.
You know what Dracula can do? Dracula is similar to Turks in this. I mean, Iroquois are similar to Turks in this case. That they can go with their commandos. Imagine he goes to commando and to the city of Mayapan,
Yep,
Cage's capital. That'll be it. Cage will never see that coming.
yep, and there's actually a nice sidewalk towards Mayapan as well.
Yeah,
He
and
could get
Cage
there
has
quite
no stuff
sneakily.
there. It will be very easy for him to get there.
I like that Dracula is trying to make a change at least. He went for Hugo's rescue. That will force Sermon to pull back, but of course the problem is Cage is still as powerful as ever.
Oh man, yeah, this is. Yuga has been raided. Yuga's food income is horrible right now.
hmm
So that
Also,
should be alright.
in the background, is that just something in the kitchen? Oh, okay, it's gone. Cause
Yeah, that's something in the kitchen. I'm sorry.
okay, yeah,
Is that too loud?
it's quite loud, man. But I mean, if there's
Okay,
nothing we can do,
we can pause for a second if you want.
yeah, let's just pause for a sec.
Okay.
And meanwhile, we can just talk about what's happening. I feel like, yeah, Dracula is completely dead, man. So it's all on Hugo's shoulders, but Sermon is not in a bad condition himself. Oh, but
No. Oh, okay. I think it's done. We can continue the game.
okay, let's go. Three, two, one, go. But
Let's go.
the city of Isfahan is actually pretty exposed, man. That castle is not really defending it at all. So maybe.
Yeah, Sermon. So if Sermon loses the city, this could be game changing. I don't see Dracula deleting his Senate. So obviously he is not ready to move. Dracula is trying to put a castle near his capital, but that castle is too far away. It won't hold it.
This is gonna end badly for Hugo. He still has a senator. He doesn't have a
Oh
supply
my God,
wagon.
Hugo, I cannot believe this that Hugo is still relying on Senator. It's annoying right now, man. I really wish that Hugo learned that from the last game.
Yeah, but I do like Dracula is here again. He just appeared out of
Yeah,
nowhere.
he can turn the tables, but just I would like Hugo to be able to kill his opponent by himself. It's not too difficult. All he needs is to get that senator. Yeah, I want. Yeah, he still hasn't clicked on the senator upgrade.
Oh, he clicked on
I
it
mean the
right
monarchy.
now. He's getting the
Yes, he clicked on
monarchy,
it.
but that attrition is doing damage still, and it has done a lot of damage by now. And not to talk about the other benefits like armor and attack benefits. And Sermon is just using his elephants to hold on, and it's gonna be enough. For it's GG here. AL lost the second game, but it was still pretty close, man. It's already Enlightenment Age.
This was very close. Yeah, yeah, it was so close. I almost thought we'll see something.
Yeah.
But yeah,
So
anyway,
anyway, um,
Hugo needs to get monarchy. Hugo, if you want to win the next three games or the next two games, you have to get monarchy. This was a big deal in this game.
yep. And
His army
Cage
was
is the
suffering to
MVP.
attrition. His cavalry don't have the extra armor, don't no extra attack. His cavalry are not cheap as they are for Sermon. Of course, he was losing this game despite having an age advantage initially.
Yeah, I agree. So yeah, guys, we'll be right back with the third
Mhm.
game. Um, yeah. Until then. Hey guys, we're back. So let's go. I'll count down 3, 2,
Let's
1,
go.
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 Okay, welcome guys. So the score is actually 1-1 now, and I forgot to change the scorecard, but that's gonna take 1 second. Okay, unpausing again. Alright, so sermon is French. I think there's not really any scenario in which you're unhappy to be French. French is always nice. His teammate Cage is Dutch, also a good nation. Dracula is Turks. Also, I noticed Bison right under his nose. And the Mayans again. A lot of nations which we have seen before. Well, I guess the Dutch and the Mayans we have seen before. Anyway, would you agree with me that AS have the better nations here?
Oh, definitely. I don't know how did Dracula get Turks. Did you see what he picked?
Nah, I always forget to check for that. I didn't see.
Because Turks should come under aggressive, or unless he just picked complete random, which is fine.
Hmm. Yeah,
But
possible.
anyway, definitely French versus Maya. French is going to win, no doubt. Do you notice this? Cage and Dracula have been in front of each other, and same for the other
Yeah,
matchup as well.
yeah, nothing has changed yet. The lineups, same opponents. Let's see, man. Gage has sugar, but he doesn't know about it. He missed it by an inch. I hope he finds it out, because sugar is just
Yeah.
sitting under his nose there.
Mhm.
He also is sending a armed caravan for a raiding
Which
session.
is perfect. Yep, that's just perfect.
Let's check the scouting. I feel like Cage and Sermon doing a great job scouting. For Sermon, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 villagers, and like 1, 2. Well, Cage is scouting heavily as well because he's using his merchants, he's using his caravan to scout as well.
Oh yeah, and I hope that he will eventually send a merchant to diamonds, because that diamond in the corner looks like it should be easily defendable.
Yeah, and I would say that so far, if you look at Dracula's playstyle, the rares that he has in the corner here are uh, good rares to go with Dracula, because salt, cheaper units, diamonds, you can make a lot of heavy cavalry, or make enough scholars to progress.
Wait, did you say he's got salt? I don't see it.
Yeah, he
Oh,
also has salt
okay.
in that same corner.
So there are two corner rares, but he hasn't scouted that.
Let's see. Yeah, he only scouted diamonds so far, and maybe he will think that, there's only one rare in the corner. But he should revisit there, because he missed a ruin, I think. Well, nah, I don't know. There's no ruin there. But he could have missed a ruin. Man, Cage is just straight up scouting with his merchant. And he's using silver in Hugo's territory, so it kind of paid off. I think he will be able to use that.
And good thing was Dutch merchant is there strong. They should be able to run a few time pumps.
Yeah.
Wait, do you see where Dracula's archers are going? Oh man, he should be putting them in a safer place where they can use the range.
Oh
He's
yeah.
bringing them right in those villagers.
But he's microing it pretty decently. He's not letting his
Oh,
archers die.
but he could have completely rendered that woodcutter camp useless.
Oh yeah, if he went around.
Uh, oh man, this is sad. I mean, still like what he's doing there. It's just it could have been done slightly better. Because Cage is only losing idle time on a few villagers, not a lot of them.
Mhm. Cage is doing an interesting move. He's going for. Oh no. He was trying. Yeah, yeah, no, no. He's going for Calm 2. Commerce level 2. But I don't know if
Hmm.
he will be able to fill out his economy. I don't really think so. Because, I mean, first of all, this wood line is very exposed. So it's
Hmm.
gonna see a lot of pressure. And it's not like he has a lot of villagers lying around to build farms or.
Hmm.
I'm not sure
I
about
think
this.
he just wants to use that silver because he
Oh
knows he has
yeah.
silver. He's going to be super cheap aging.
Oh yeah, so he's doubling down on that aging discount. Only 170
Yeah,
to age for him.
yeah, that's a very cheap aging.
And I guess he has a lot of gold maybe. I mean, maybe he can use his gold to trade potentially.
Hmm.
So yeah, it should be fine.
And we've got Red Bull, who has played hundreds of games with Cage. He says Cage is good with Dutch, and I see that.
Oh, hey,
He
hey,
seems to be
Red
the
Bull. Didn't know that.
Cage has got 300 wealth, and he has the commerce too. That means right now, if he wants, he can purchase
Yeah, yeah,
the
yeah.
resources.
He could purchase some wood to, build some universities or do anything. So,
Hmm.
and Dracula is at a nine at was at a nine at a 90-90 eco, while Cage is at like 120 for food. I feel like small differences like that can actually have equally small differences in how the game plays out, but it are
Hmm.
still differences.
And Yugo's moved his cap in front. He's going to research his government. I do not recommend moving cap in front against French.
No, that's true.
Actually, I do not recommend moving cap in front for any civilization, but especially not against French,
Yeah, and
because the
given
French player is going to it's going to make it easier for him to get the plunder.
yeah, and given the positioning, in some rare cases, maybe being Lakota, you can opt to build your
Hmm.
cap forward. But if you're just a generic nation, then yeah, there's no real uh, benefit from that.
Oh yeah, that's right. On this side, well, I would say Dracula is doing all right, but not as good as Cage, of course.
Nice, Cage denied the diamonds.
Hmm.
Um, it looks like Sermon went for the despot, which is very
Yeah, not
logical.
unlike, not like Sermon, but that's logical
But
step for
yeah,
him.
given his situation, that's the good decision. Also, I would say, the Senator for Mayans is also a nice combo because Mayans are, in my opinion, economically strong only because of the cheap farms. So he knows
Hmm.
that he can get his food up very quickly. So the Senator is a good combo for that. And,
Oh
the
yeah,
Senator is good for defending. He actually is doing decently in defending so far. He bribed the
yeah. He bribed the Chevalier.
and Cage's merchant is actually actively helping in this fight.
Yeah, that's a funny merchant there.
It's like
Like
a tower
helping in
game or
big
something.
battles. Yeah.
If you look at the rares between Hugo and Sermon, Hugo has the long term rares, mainly in that Pappy,
Mm-hmm.
and Bison is just good for the economy. But Sermon really has aggressive rares that go perfectly hand in hand with French horses
Mm-hmm.
and furs. So I almost don't want to
And
doubt that
even
he will win this.
yeah, he's got cotton in this back as well.
Oh yeah, if he can get that also, then he's gonna be just a tremendous power, aggressive power.
Dude, horses with French is by itself a really good combination because I think apart from the Greek heavy cavalry, there's nothing else in the cavalry lineup that I would rather pick again instead of those French cavalry.
hmm I'm actually curious to see if the Greek or French cav is better. Um, Something interesting. Cage is going to rate diamonds, but Dracula expected this, so it's all about
Yep,
micro.
Dracula is there. He's ready for that. But
Cage
Cage
should
also
be
expected
able
that.
to win this engagement because I think Archer and Cataphract is a stronger combo than HI
Dracula, yeah.
and Archer. Yeah, perfect. He microed
And
that perfect.
yeah, Dracula may end up losing both of those units.
I'm curious about Sermon's movement. It seems like he wants to raid Dracula, and it might work. But Hugo
Yep,
is suspicious.
I won't say that's a bad idea.
Yeah, there's actually a lot of villagers here, and one tower. But being French, it's not that bad. All right, so that diamonds is going down. Nice move.
Oh yeah, that's a nice move. And it's the second time Cage has raided diamonds.
hmm
And now the good thing about French is that they don't. It doesn't matter. Even Aztecs. It doesn't matter who they're raiding as long as they're getting that sweet plunder and they have their units on healing. They can go around the territory. They can raid anybody. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. I'm not sure if Sermon's raid so far is very effective. He
No,
hasn't
no,
done
they
much
haven't done a
damage.
lot.
No. So,
And
but
this is at such time, would you raid your opponent or help your ally?
I would at least pick one of the two because what Hugo did, he was like, okay, let me raid Sermon, but now he's back. I mean, both options are equally good. You just have to commit to one option at least. Don't get confused in what you wanna do.
Oh yeah, that's right. And did you see that Cage is building Forbidden City in a very weird place?
I think Cage is feeling mighty. He's not shaking.
Yeah, Cage is feeling strong. He's got a nice eco, and with that Forbidden now, that he'll get that boost of plus 50 food and wood.
Yeah. What happened to... Well, Sermon, he did a tour around the world. He did lose some units, but it's not that bad. I actually expected the siege to go up, and Sermon uh, started building it at exact moment when I was gonna comment about that. So yeah, I like it. I like it.
Yeah, and Sermon is missing, his metal income is not as good because he
Mm,
just has. Does he have enough mountains? No, he has only one mountain, which is safe. There is one mountain towards the front. Not sure if I would call that safe.
and this one horse archer by Hugo in the back here actually did some decent damage because it denied so much metal income at a moment when Sermon needed it the most. He needed it to
Mm-hmm.
upgrade his units to make sieges, I mean to make catapults. But he should sell some wood, buy some metal. and you
Yeah,
have to just
he
work
does
around
have
it.
a lot of wood, but it's funny that the player with Despot has almost the same eco, or
Yeah,
even better eco than the player with Senator.
even the gold income is better, and he doesn't have gold rares or anything like that. So I guess
Because he
market
built
and
his third city
taxation.
earlier.
Mm-hmm.
No, he built his third city earlier. Oh yeah, also taxation, but the
But
sooner you build your third city, the earlier your trade starts with free caravans.
you know what? I'm still confused about this. Please explain this to me. The caravan, does it also affect your gold income rate? Because I think like your
It
caravans only affect like when they arrive at your city, right? Or
Yeah, so by this time, all three caravans should have arrived at all three different cities of Sermon.
yeah, but that still the gold rate income is higher for Sermon. I mean, and the gold rate income doesn't get affected by your caravans, right? Or that?
No, no, income does get affected. Oh yeah, income. You're saying it just gives you raw wealth
Yeah, yeah,
instead of
that's what I'm saying.
no, no, no. It does give you wealth income, of course, man.
Man,
I'm surprised
I
that
actually
you.
was very confused about this for a long time because also when you lose your city, you lose a lot of more gold income than you would have thought because you lose your caravan. So, well, yeah. Anyway, um, so a caravan. If you lose a caravan, you can see your gold income go from 120 to like 90. Is that possible?
Yeah, that's how when you lose caravans, you lose your gold income. I think
You were inaudible for a sec.
am I audible right now?
I mean, I can hear you very slightly.
Is it better now?
Not really.
Is it better now?
Yeah, now it's better.
Okay. Whoa! Did you see that? What's happening there? You had a nice army. I think he could have gone for on an offense, but he's playing too defensive on this side.
I guess he feels intimidated by that French despot, which I certainly would understand if that's the case. It's kind of disheartening to know that you're kind of fighting an uphill battle because of the healing.
I'll just pause for a second.
Yeah. Hey Red Bull, actually AL just played very well, man. I don't know. AL is playing pretty well. It's not like it's lucky. Yeah, they're showing some skills. I'm actually surprised. I think they would give my team a decent fight. Okay, you're back. So, 3, 2, 1, go. So anyway, Sermon went for the engagement. He had a slightly bigger army and the despot healing, so he won this engagement.
And this place right here where Sermon is raiding, or is that should already be a big red flag for Yugo. It looks like a nice place to raid caravans. He should have put a
Hmm.
tower there.
Yeah, you're right. Important detail. Let's look at the technology between Sermon and Hugo. Hugo is ready for the gunpowder. Sermon is not, and actually, Hugo is much faster than Sermon in terms of his aging possibilities.
Yep.
So yeah, I feel like Hugo for him, um, good times are coming because
Mm-hmm.
actually Sermon's raids weren't that effective all in all. And Hugo
Yeah.
just did his boom game with Mayans. You look at his food income, and when you have your food income straight, then you can also increase your wood income and metal income. So I feel like he used Mayans very well. Defensive playstyle, work your eco up, and get yourself into a good position.
Yeah, and that's right. And if you see what Dracula is doing, Dracula's got a decent ego. Maybe he's lower than Cage, but I won't rule out the fact that he can still kill Cage because he's got a 200, which I feel is decent enough for age 4, and he's got a better army than Cage. With couple that with the sieges,
Uh,
and that's all you need.
I'm excited, dude. Do you see this? Dracula has four Turkish bombards, and I really want to see Forbidden City go down. And
Be
you know,
taken down,
if
yeah.
anybody can do it fast, then it's the Turks.
And I also want to see the monarchy upgrade coming.
hmm I feel like actually even Dracula has a potential to kill Cage even because his economy is good. I mean, Cage's eco is better, but that's not my point. Dracula's eco is good enough to pump out a lot of units. Uh, so yeah, that's all he should do. Pump out units and pray.
Yeah, that's right. And Cage is coming on that raid from behind, which could be deadly.
Yeah, it's definitely doing some damage.
He's got a general. He's got heavy cavalry, spy, archer. That raiding party is going to be there for some time.
But the other side of the coin is Cage doesn't have a big army at all to defend his front, but he's getting
And
there.
also, oh, by the way, do you see that?
Yep.
Hugo is going there to help.
Hugo, go back, man. Don't reveal yourself yet. However, maybe it's the right time.
Oh,
Uh,
is he revealing himself?
Not yet. I'm looking through Cage's perspective. Okay, the
That's
city is
awesome.
almost down. The temple increased its HP for a second, but you know that's no problem. Let's
Yeah, those
see
sieges are going to take it down in an instant.
what is happening here. Why
Oh my
isn't
God! Come on! That city
this?
should be
Sometimes
sieged.
this micro can annoy me. Why isn't aren't the sieges just killing the city?
Yeah, yeah. Why aren't these sieges just
Wow,
attacking
wow,
the
come
forbidden
on.
city? This is so annoying.
And I thought the city
I want to
was
kill
downed
myself.
already, man. This is just crazy.
I want to kill myself right now. He could. Dracula could have killed the forbidden city. He could have killed the barracks, everything, and oh man, that's sad for both
And
the
it doesn't
sieges.
have.
And at the same time, no monarchy. Sieges take ages to
Yep.
deploy.
Just get your sieges out of there, man. Get out of there, dude. It's too late. Just cut your losses. Problem is now Cage is in a good spot because he defended himself. He killed some army, and now he has the best eco in the game.
Oh man, that was a disaster. And again, monarchy, you just cannot be attacking your opponent without yeah, you cannot be attacking your opponent without a despot or monarch. It's very difficult to win. You are fighting an uphill battle in such a case.
Yeah, for sure. Especially once attrition comes to play, then it's just completely over. I like how Dracula is using his sieges to attack the arquebusiers, because you know siege units are pretty effective against those.
Yeah. Oh yeah, siege units are effective against range infantry a lot.
Interesting thing
But
is
at
that
this point,
Cage's
um,
yeah, sorry, just a sec. that Cage's knowledge income is actually not that high, even though he still has an advantage in terms of his library. But I would have expected that he would have a higher knowledge income, but he just has to get another university, and his
Oh
gold
yeah,
income will
and look
take
at
care of
Cage.
that.
He's using diamonds there.
Oh, beautiful. I like it. And while Dracula just forgot about diamonds.
So monarchy coming for Cage and Dracula
Sermon as
already
well.
got the monarchy. Yeah, so I feel this monarchy, if this monarchy had come in earlier for Dracula, this would be GG for Cage.
Yeah,
For sure.
he had a very real chance, but now
Yeah, the
Cage's
moment Cage
economy.
lost that Forbidden City, just imagine you lose the Forbidden City, he lost that eco from the Forbidden City plus the wood, but suddenly Dracula gains plus 50 food and plus 50 wood.
Yeah, and that
It's a
that
game
changes
changer.
instant. You instantly get
Yeah,
those extra that extra income. And now
yeah,
Cage is just pumping out units like a mad dog. Uh, Look at the army he's able to amass so quickly. Man, Sermon is doing a
I
nice
hate to
raids here
see it.
on the side.
Yeah, I hate to see that all these games were so close, but some way it just didn't work out for AL.
AL, if you're watching this, please, the Monarch. This is,
Yeah, the potential, they had the potential to win all of these games. It could
yeah,
be a 3-0 right now.
yeah, quite possible. It's an oversimplification, but it's definitely possible. I don't know why Cage is sieging some random buildings. Maybe he should control that.
Yeah, Cage is sure he's won this game, so he's not spending too much effort.
But still, like, sieging a siege factory. I see some GGs coming in.
Yeah.
Okay, Dracula just resigned, so yeah.
Oh man, just imagine again, man. Game could be completely upside down with that Forbidden City gone. Hugo was also there. It was the perfect moment to take that Forbidden City. Because if Cage
Hmm.
lost that Forbidden City, now Sermon would be forced to come down here to help Cage, and then it completely changes the whole game.
Man,
Because
AL.
you cannot let your losing ally against Turks. If your ally is already losing, the Turks with all those sieges, they can finish up
Yeah,
the remaining
very
cities
fast. You're
faster
right,
than
actually.
anything.
That's an interesting point there. That once the Turks get the momentum, it's almost impossible to stop them, because any production building you build is just gets shredded in no time. They just
Yeah,
can kill your cities from far. Yeah, it's important detail. But yeah,
yeah, yeah.
I wanted to say for AL. What did I want to say? It's very close games, but just yeah, AL is making some basic mistakes.
Yeah, still two games left, and I have hope from AL. I know that you have to go. Do you have time for the last game?
Well, we don't know. The problem is we don't know if it's the last game. And um,
Well,
how about
if
you
it's the
though?
last game, we have two games. I don't know if it's one game I can do it. If it's two games, then well,
Uh,
let's see. If it's one game and if AL loses this game, that's the end. But if AL wins this game, then we can have the grand finale of this best of five tomorrow.
okay, okay, that's like a compromise. You know that word?
Yeah,
Like compromise.
I understand you.
You know what I mean. So yeah, let's do that.
Yeah.
So yeah, guys, we'll be right back. Hello guys, welcome. Third game. The scorecard. So 2-1 in favor of AS. They just need one more to take this win and take it home. But first they have to beat AL, and who knows, AL
Mhm.
can come back from this. So let's go in 3, 2, 1. All right, we're live, guys. Hugo, let's talk about the nations. Hugo is Germans. Dracula is Persians. This is interesting. Uh,
Reminds me of that game.
yeah, and Russian a Russian Cage and Roman Sermon. Only we've seen all the nations in this matchup before. Only the Romans we haven't seen yet.
That's right. That's right. And if I have to guess, Romans and Russia, they not sure they make the best team, but you see, Russians and Romans, they both have great potential for turtling. They can
For
both Romans can
yeah,
make castles and occupy a lot of space, and Russians they are well, they just by their cities they can occupy a lot of space.
yeah. Remember we in the past we used to say that Bantu and Lakota are very nice for the border push to get the center to divide your opponent. Maybe Russia and Romans are like the tier 2 in terms of that ability. Like they're not as good as Bantu and Lakota, but uh, they're one of the better ones if you want to achieve this of the other
Oh
nations.
yeah, for sure.
All right.
So for the nations, I mean for the rare resources, Hugo has got relics and Pappy both top rares there,
And
and
just one little remark. Actually, Pappy and relics go well together as well. That's actually also important. The synergy you have between the rares you control.
oh yeah, that's right. And he also got this bison if he can protect it from raids. Then there is silver and silk in Dracula's territory again if he can protect it. So all these are nice rares. They got what so far three library rares out of five, which is a best deal you can get.
hmm I feel like um, perhaps for Dracula, he could have went just straight forward as well, because as you see, he has a wood line in front of him as
Yeah.
well.
That wood line would be a good idea too.
I
But
don't
yeah,
know.
may,
Depends
yeah, I don't,
on
I'm
his
not
play
sure.
style.
Maybe he did not see that wood line in time
Maybe, yeah, that's possible.
because that would be for sure a lot
Nah,
safer
I
option.
think I think he saw that because I think his scout went through here. Well,
Hmm.
maybe it just missed it. Okay, but yeah, maybe problem is has forced himself to play defensively almost just by this placement of the second city. So if he wanted to play defensively, then sure, he can go. He can put his third city in front there still,
Hmm.
and then he actually has like I feel a pretty defendable terrain overall.
Oh yeah. Uh, so let's see. So if you were to just pair these nations against each other, Russians and Persians versus Rome Germans, what's your thought?
Um, okay, but you actually you said do you mean maybe Russians and Romans versus
Oh
uh,
no, I mean Russians versus Persians.
Russians versus?
Yeah, if you were to pick one of these,
Oh yeah, of all the nations, or what are the conditions?
like if you just have to play against, like if you are Russians and you were
Mhm.
against a Persian player, what
Mhm.
will be your strategy? Because
Hmm.
Persians are strong in late game.
Yeah.
So will you try to kill her with
For
Russians?
me personally, the most annoying thing is elephant rains early on. That actually is something that gets me a lot. But being Russians, I can actually be kind of confident that maybe at least they won't be that early, because Dracula will have to get his death spot before he can actually
Hmm.
start raiding me. I would actually, being Russians, I would try to boom up. I'm just gonna keep it at that, simple
Again,
as that. Yeah, I
oh man,
guess.
that's going to be risky. But yeah, there's nothing risk free against Russians.
Yeah,
I
but
mean against
I
Persians.
was thinking
There's no
thinking
risk
about
involved in that.
raiding, but Dracula's position. If I look at that, in this case, I don't know, man. The raids, he's so far away. It's gonna take a long time before Cage can get his stable up, before his units get there. Maybe by that time, sorry, Dracula will even have defenses set up, and he's going Senator.
Oh wait, so
Always, yeah,
what's
he
up with
is.
these matchups, man? I have not seen Dracula against Sermon any of this game. It's the same matchup all four
It
games.
adds it adds some flavor. It adds some history between the players. I kind of like it. It's nothing wrong with that.
Hmm. Okay, and here's Cage already has a nice wealth knowledge income, but same for um, Dracula as well. That relics and Pappy are helping him so much right now.
Mhm.
And the way that relics is set up there, I don't think it's going to be easy to raid it.
Let's see. Yeah, it's very defendable. That's perfect. Perfect for AL. I'm curious about the Roman player, because Romans, they can be that nation that just suddenly destroy you during medieval age. Suddenly you see like five heavy infantries, some
Hmm.
heavy cavalry sieges. I wonder if Sermon will be that aggressive. I hope so.
Well,
It
so far
would be a nice show.
everybody has gone. So far everybody has gone for senator. Cage is the only one who's left, and this is something I do not like, man.
He went
Dracula
senator,
going,
or
yeah, Dracula going senator against Russians.
oh yeah, I actually saw that happening. I didn't make the connection. You're right. He man, and Cage is getting his third city already. He has a temple on his second city. I love that. It's something I like to do as well for that extra border push. And being Russians,
Hmm.
it even makes more difference. Look at all this, all this natural. Actually, it's like Russia is big and Cage is also big. It's historically correct, this game. It's so funny.
Yeah, and if you see the reason why Cage is feeling so confident right now is because uh, one of the reasons would be that Dracula has got senator. So Cage is 100% sure there is no
Mhm.
need to worry, at least
Mhm.
until medieval age. Even in medieval age, he can micro his way to kill that supply wagon.
Mhm. Also, something I love about this is actually Dracula is cut off from Hugo, and especially because of Russian attrition, it's harder for him to rotate. He basically has to avoid Cage's territory, which will make his rotation longer.
Yeah, that's right.
Sermon is doing fine, 130, 120, 60 in economy. That's better than Hugo, but nothing critical at
And
the
I
moment.
saw him I saw him point out that place in the middle near Die that he's going to put his city there. If he does that, that's going to be epic.
Who will?
That's going to
Sermon.
be, yeah, Serban.
That would be very nice. And he's getting his fort to the front, and I guess after that he's planning to get a city near Die. That's gonna be very interesting, and I like that the fort will give him enough protection for a limited time. but that's all he needs. He needs that initial security, and after he gets his
And
third
by the
city
way,
here, it's gonna be all
yeah,
fine.
Hugo is also building a city. I think Hugo should be able to reverse this border push.
Mhm.
If
Mhm.
Hugo gets his city on the right time, that'll be perfect. If not, then GG to the AL team.
I hope.
Because with such separation, it's almost very difficult to beat your opponent.
Oh, in my opinion, oh, look at that border push. Hugo is completely in
That's
enemy
epic.
territory, but
Yeah, that border push was epic.
Sermon's reconnaissance didn't work very well, though. He didn't spot that. He will
Yep,
notice it any moment. We have an island, ladies and
and
gentlemen.
an island.
We have
Yes,
an
that's
island. I
confidence
love it.
going
I
forward.
love it. This is the best thing that can happen in Rise of Nations.
Yeah, but the problem with that island is now that those two cities are separated, and Sermon could take advantage of that.
Yeah, that's a problem for Hugo. Something good for.
Not for Sermon. Yeah, Sermon is fine.
Yeah, Sermon is fine. That temple will destroy the island, though. Sad.
This is
Hugo.
Turtling Fest. That's what I would name this video.
um, Sermon's cavalry is doing a great job, killing archers. Uh, Denied a lot of economy here. This is a very important city for Hugo. Würzburg, uh, a +6 woodcutters camp, a lot of farms there. So yeah,
Mhm.
I feel like Kiel is the perfect city to double. It's just made to be doubled.
Yeah,
Cage
like
and Sermon, they should get on that. Get on it fast.
yeah, when you make those tutorials, you want to show people how to double, and you set up the
This
perfect
will be it,
conditions.
man. We found it.
This will be it. This will be it. If they double, if they end up doubling KL, that's what I'm going to show on my channel.
Yeah.
That's how you double voice.
Actually, I feel like Dracula is doing decently. I mean, he's actually pressing Cage back with his elephants slightly. Just those elephants are just powerful.
Yep.
Let's see, bribe
But
games.
again, you see, he does not have the ego that justifies Senator right now, and it just sad that he could have taken so much advantage with Despot right now.
Yep, I agree with you.
Maybe he will get to H4 in time, get that Monarch in time. And you remember what Hugo did in the first game against Aztecs? He went for the attack with Senator and Supply Wagon against Russians. That was
It's
a
kind of funny.
very yeah noob thing to do. I hope Dracula doesn't repeat that mistake.
This is how I like Romans right here. Is that very in your face aggressive action just by using those unique units, those Caesar's legions, and like Caesar's legions, two knights and one archer. I actually love this combo,
Yeah. At
but
this point, even Dracula, even Hugo can research attrition,
yeah.
and that should solve some problem
Also,
for
I'm not gonna lie, Hugo has a pretty big army at the moment. Let's see, 5 archers, 5 solduris. So if he supplies that with some light cavalry even and some sieges, that's definitely an army that could take a city.
And I just saw a message from Hugo. He says, "Red has to kill you." Um, well, my Spanish is not the best, but maybe he say, Oh yeah, he asked, "Do they have gems? Do they have gems?" Oh yeah, these guys do have gems.
Oh, is Cage using that? Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Man,
look
look
at
at
the
that
top
fat
corner.
body that Cage has. It's a fat fuck. Look at how big he is.
Yeah, that's a huge Russian army. I mean territory. He's
Ter-
probably controlling
But
50% of
yeah,
that just by
in
using.
case of Russia, their territory is their army as well. So,
Mhm.
um, Cage is consistent with the way he builds up his eco. If he's not the best, then he's close to being the best in terms of
Mhm.
his economy or even
Yep,
progression overall. He has proven this uh, in these matchups for sure, and he's
that's right.
already closing in on the gunpowder. I assume that's actually the quickest out of everybody. Well, Dracula is
No,
close enough
no,
as
no.
well,
Look at Dracula. Dracula is close.
but his metal income is bottlenecking his ability to research mill 3, and overall in terms of resources, Cage actually will have the resources to age, but Dracula, his food, his metal is being a problem.
Oh man. And Hugo could be doing much better right now, but he is not. He has a nice army, I would say enough army to give Sermon some difficulty, but problem is that he has been playing so passively throughout this game. Did you see any raid from Hugo?
No, and
That's the problem.
maybe we can give it up for Sermon the way he has been putting pressure using the Roman power. He just killed the senator. That's actually a big deal. But also, you know, all Hugo had to do is research attrition, and it's just amazing that he hasn't done that.
That's right. Yeah, if he just research the attrition, that's all. And anyway, just give me 1 minute.
Sure.
I got a call.
What's up, guys in the chat? Y'all still here? Yeah, I like how Cage plays. In my opinion, yeah, I really respect him. A very great player.
You ready?
Yo, I'm ready. Can you say something?
Yes, I'm here.
Your mic is
Hello?
lower, your volume, than it
Oh man,
was.
my mic just adjusts to itself somehow. Anyway, is it
It's
better
fine
now?
now. Yeah. Three,
Okay, let's
two,
go.
1, go. Okay, Cage and Sermon both aging to gunpowder, so they're even increasing their dominification. That's not a real word. I know that.
Yeah, that's that's not. So I don't have much hope from Hugo against Sermon because yes, Hugo does not have a much army. He has got raided a lot, and being behind Romans already, it's going to be a big a tricky deal here. Also, he doesn't have a castle, so no castle against Romans. Well, that's the best way to lose against Romans.
Oh yeah, I get that. Armor plays a role. Also, man, like Cage, he has the economy as always. He always does have the eco. He doesn't have the army again, but
Hmm.
he just uses the fact that the enemy. He has, yeah, he just plays it geniusly. That the enemy is wasting time, and then suddenly Cage is using his economy to build up an army. For Dracula,
Oh yeah,
actually, sieging that temple, I would be actually happy if I was Cage. I mean, I don't mind losing my temple as long as I don't
that's
lose
right.
my
He
city.
Dracula is sieging weird things that don't matter.
Yep.
If he goes for supply wagon instead of monarch, I am going to lose it now.
And
Also, why are his supply wagons? I mean, why are his siege units separated?
I don't know, man.
Why does he have a single siege there? Because
Don't
it
ask me.
that's fodder for light cavalry. Those
Hmm.
a single light cavalry from the Russian can take that down.
Also, dude, something very interesting is, like, obviously Cage doesn't have enough units to defend his city at the moment, yeah. But even still, he chooses to go for raids in Dracula's territory. I really love that, because an
Yeah,
intermediate
that's good.
player, he would have been like, I should get an army on my city here ASAP. But Cage is actually
Hmm.
smarter than that. He's like a level above that, and he recognizes that, you know what, I'm actually just gonna raid him meanwhile, cause
Oh my God! Please check what Sherman is doing. This is another problem with AL team, especially Yugo in this game. He has got ambushed previously. Why would he let him ambush again? Come
well,
on, man.
my man
He should be ready
Hugo,
for that.
Hugo has
Oh yeah, Yugo.
the perfect counter to what Sermon is doing. I mean, a lot of archers. Like, I like
I feel he
that.
should already have those that lookout.
Yeah,
It's
that's
just
that is no doubt for sure. I get I
on this side I am going to lose it very soon because
still
um,
Senator.
Dracula is seizing everything except the city. He's seizing his university, the stable, the siege factory.
He's doing exactly what Gage needs, but still
Yeah, Cage
Gage,
just needs that time.
but Gage
I don't
is
I don't I
fucking
don't
up
know if
as well,
Cage
man.
will be able to do that. Like Cage still could die, I, in a sense, but just imagine if Cage had more knowledge, then uh, this delay by Dracula could easily get him to H5 soon.
Yeah. Um, Cage, he likes to play with fire. I really noticed that. He likes to play it on the edge, and he likes to ride on that edge, and just make it out of there. And then he's like graciously falling on his like a
Okay.
cat
Oh
is
my God.
falling on
Okay,
his feet.
I'm
But
actually glad. I'm actually glad Dracula
this
got the
time,
monarch. So this could be,
yeah,
yeah, he's got the
this
monarch. He
time I feel
actually is in
like,
a good condition.
yeah. Cage this time
And
he won't be able to jump graciously and land on his feet like all the other times. I feel like.
and again,
Let's see.
again, a big reason why everybody should research attrition, regardless of whatever government the opponent has. Check out Cage's merchant in Dracula's territory. You see that?
Oh yeah, I see that he's using silver. That's just
Oh,
savage.
and silver is just what he needs. Just what he needs.
Yep. And yeah, I mean he's the closest to enlightenment, but the question is, will he get there? Will he get there?
And I can't believe this as well. Dracula came
Oh
against
no, dude,
Russians
sorry, but
without explorers.
Cage bribed two
Without
elephants,
explorers.
man.
How
Completely
could
turn it
you come
around.
to Russian territory without explorers? It's like already Russians are prone to, I mean, Persians are prone to bribing because of elephants, and Russians who are known to be a bribing civilization.
This is
This
so
was a
interesting how
suicide.
this dynamic works. Like
Yeah, my
Russia
blood
kind of
pressure is
has,
rising.
like in this case, Russia kind of naturally has that counter to Persians. It's just amazing how that works.
Yep,
And
and all Persians need is maybe two
yeah,
explorers, not scouts. That's enough, but
all Persian needs is that awareness of their weakness, being that their elephants can be used against them. And he kind of forgot about that. And also, he has two scouts actually, but now upgraded scouts, they're worthless almost. I find, yeah, especially in the gunpowder age.
and you go here. He just said that I'm depending on you to win. I would say Dracula had the best chance in the game to win 2 minutes ago, but now it's difficult to assess that. Also, Dracula doesn't have a castle, so he was fighting without armor all this time. Even armor, that's fine. Armor is not a problem. If you have those Persian elephants, you can just undo the armor for your opponent. It doesn't matter that much. But you still need explorers. Look at Cage's army. He's got 4 spies.
Yep, that's
And you
tremendous.
know why I am so concerned right now? Like I wouldn't care, or I wouldn't be so upset if AL was a noob team or an underachieving team. But the fact that AL almost got AS for being the top 5 team, they almost got them and they just barely missed because of some stupid mistakes. That's
Yep,
why I'm so annoyed right now.
but
It's like they are throwing away the games that they have won. This game should have easily been won by Dracula already. Dracula should already have the city, and this should be 2-2. And I would say the same thing for the game number 2, where they
you're right,
almost won
completely
by
right.
mistakes.
But you know, I feel like AL the next time they come back, they're gonna be stronger. Cause the mistakes that they have made were pretty grave, but also easily fixable. So
Yeah, that is
the
true.
future looks
You're
bright
right.
for AL. But back to Hugo, to his comment about relying about Dracula. I feel like Hugo should rely on himself because I feel like he's in a very decent spot to actually uh, be an very important asset to his team. He's
Mm-hmm.
actually
Yeah,
he could
yeah. Hugo is
potentially
not doing bad
he could
actually.
he
You
could
you.
get
Oh my
Sermon.
God, when he could get Sermon, I wasn't even noticing because I thought that the game's over for Hugo.
Mm-mm.
But he's got double the knowledge in about not double, well, more than 100 plus knowledge income than. And you see that city of Vladivostok could have been doubled by the AL team, but instead now the city of Kiel is going to be doubled by the AS team.
Finally, I love it. Finally, the rotation, so you can do your tutorial.
That's right, that's right. This is going in my tutorial. um it could also backfire for Dracula, I mean for Cage, if oh my God, I
Uh,
still can't believe. Can you believe that Dracula is still relying on scouts instead of explorers, despite losing 2 explorers to
yeah,
them?
very very basic mistakes. Very basic.
Very basic mistake. He should be winning this encounter, but instead he has to. Uh, Again, I just feel bad because these guys had an amazing chance at beating AS.
Let's see how many bribes.
This could have been one of those games where it's completely opposite of what, yeah, everybody else thought.
Yep.
Because I know a lot of people thought that AS would win this game,
I thought
and
AS would wipe the
I
floor
also
with
said that,
AL.
yeah, I also thought that AS would win easily, but I don't think they did. This was a very close matchup. AL could have got this, but these minor mistakes. Oh man.
Mhm. So this action by AS was very successful. They got kill and they won the battles.
Yeah.
Cage won the battle and now Cage is back to his own position, but he helped Sermon to he gave Sermon that extra push. And now actually, let's see. Yeah, look at Hugo's economy. It's completely in shambles. It's just a shadow of what it was before. So this
Mm-hmm.
I feel like this sucks out the last bits of hope for AL.
All right. So it looks like I have to go very soon.
Okay.
So let's see. Let's see.
Yeah. In the
Um.
worst case, I'll just finish it solo.
Yep. Okay. So I'll be going in a minute. Let's see if these guys are going to try for it.
Yeah.
It's the last game, so they probably want to try for it.
But I mean, I think they should realize that their chances are very slim. So
Mm-hmm.
let's see if
And
they
I see Hugo. Hugo says
give up.
that the gems gems gave them too much territory for Russian to win.
Mm,
But
hmm
I while that is one of the reasons why these guys won, but no, that the bigger reason why these guys won was because Dracula did not kill when he should have.
hmm
Because as we said, Hugo was doing fine. I thought Hugo would die much earlier, but that was not the case. If Hugo was allowed to stay there by himself, he might have beaten a Sermon.
He might have.
That was
His eco was better,
yeah.
and libraries were
His
completely
eco was
identical.
better, and his knowledge income was so much better.
Yeah, Dracula is only aging just now, and meanwhile,
Even now,
Cage is on
even
the
now,
move.
Dracula does not have the explorers.
Look at Persepolis, man. I'm looking at it from Dracula's perspective. I think he should realize that this is a full-fledged attack by now.
Yeah, he should. He should.
I like the positioning by Cage.
Yeah,
He's blocking Dracula's army before, even Dracula has made a move.
knows about it. Yeah, yeah, that's right. I feel yeah, this is game over. Hello, expert connect.
Hey, expert.
So I'll have to leave right now. It was great casting with you today. I
Yeah,
really wish the game
same, dude.
outcome could have been different, and I hope AL learns from their mistakes in this game because they were very close to winning this. They couldn't have been closer right now.
Yep. Well, in either case, these were amazing matches actually. Very close, very tense. So it's all good.
Yep, that's right. So anybody watching this, thanks for joining us, guys. I'll be going. Um, it was great casting today.
Yep, for sure. Alright, man. See ya, and till the next time, dude.
Yep, see you, bro.
See ya, bro.
Bye.
Okay, so Dracula does have a lot of those elephants, but yeah, it's not. It's too late now. The damage has been done. The economic damage. So yeah, it looks like it's GG. Jitin needed like one more minute and he could have made it to the end, but that's okay. Let's check the game stats. Yeah, interesting. Yeah, y'all can see for yourselves. Military, Gage did a good. Yeah, actually, both Sermon and Gage did the lifting. Like it's not like Gage did everything. It was a very, was a team effort. This double really was the turning point for this game. Like from losing this city, everybody just snowballed into defeat. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Like always, it's a pleasure to cast for you guys. I love you all, and this was a cool matchup. Thanks for the players, for the teams. Also, thanks for, so far all the teams have been very decent, following the rules. Uh, no big conflicts, so that's great. And let's see. Quite possibly we will see you guys back tomorrow. Um, you'll know it if you're back. So yeah, it's always difficult to wrap up. It's like I keep on rambling and rambling. So let's just finish this. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you tomorrow, possibly.